Jimmy O here from Joe Blow, and guess what I'm here for? I'm in San Francisco at ILM about to talk to Guillermo Del Toro about his new film, Pacific Rim. It's pretty action-packed, you should see it. The idea of putting these robots together seems difficult enough, but you went in and you have to choreograph a fight between these impossible beings.
Yeah. Well, not only that, imagine this. Most of the movies you see in any genre, they have to deal with solving one problem. They go, okay, we spent 6 months designing the monster. We spent 6 months designing the robot. We have 9 kaiju and about 11 robots in the movie. 11 kaiju and 9 robots in the movie. And to solve all of that was insane. Now the fights, what we did was a mixture. We did some footage with stunt. I liked it, but it felt a little artificial. So I started coming up with just violent, vile stuff that robots would do to kaiju and kaiju would do to robots. And I wanted to bring a sense of humor. So when we were scouting Hong Kong, for example, a ship went by, and it was so long, and I said, wouldn't it be great if the Jaeger grabbed a ship and used it as a baseball bat? It was actually fun to choreograph those fights.
It was a nice touch, actually. That's one of my favorite shots. That whole Hong Kong sequence is amazing.
Yeah, and it's 25 minutes of solid action,
Yeah.
where you literally start in the water, end up in outer space, and it's one of those. I always loved, like, for example, the fight on They Live, the John Carpenter fight,
yeah.
which goes on for 15, 20 minutes. I don't know how long, and it's a knockout, drag-out fight. I wanted to do that in the middle of a city. I said, what if we do that in the middle of a city? They keep going at it until one of them wins, you know? And the ending of that battle is so satisfactory for me, falling from great height, and it's finally when they two finish the fight, and he says, "Are you okay?" And she says, "Yes." And you, it's such a nice moment for them. Bonding.
Yeah, and well, I think that seems like it'd be the difficult part, is adding the human element to the whole thing.
Well, for that, there's a very simple thing we did that is really curious. If you watch the movie again, whenever I'm cutting, I kept some of the simplest rules of geography. Like, I never want anyone to be lost in a fight. Mm-hmm. And if the Jaeger is pointing left to right and I cut to the cockpit, I cut to a left to right axis shot. If they are talking to the Lawson is talking right to left and they're talking left to right. It's all very conservative at that and very classic at that, because I don't want the audience to have fast cutting fights. I want a fight that feels like a fight and not an action scene. You get all the movement of the robot, all the beauty of the punch. Is really designed in a way that fights are not designed normally these days.
Yeah.
Is really to showcase the majesty and the power of these things.
Yeah, this didn't feel like a robot fight. This felt like almost watching like Rocky or something like that, as opposed to what the current trend
Super
is.
fast cutting, jumping the axis and all that stuff, which has advantages in other type of fights, but this one's no.
Yeah, and you were able to keep it, like, actually shoot it unusually, not with all those wild cuts.
And I was so mindful of this because, for example, even when Pentecost is talking to Mako on the intercom, he's looking left to right, she's looking right to left. Every time we were so mindful, and those are very simple tricks, but they make all the interactions seem really pristine.